please welcome the 2014 Johns Hopkins degree candidates. Leading the procession through the arch and processing around the perimeter are the candidates for artist diplomas and doctoral degrees in the following order: the School of Education, the Peabody Conservatory of Music, the School of Nursing, the Bloomberg School of Public Health, the Paul H. Neitz School of Advanced International Studies, the School of Medicine, the GWC Whiting School of Engineering, and the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences. And down the center aisle, the bachelor's degree candidates from the Peabody Conservatory of Music and the School of Nursing. Now entering the bachelor's degree candidates from the GWC Whiting School of Engineering. Now entering and processing around the perimeter are the master's, certificates, performance certificates, and bachelor's candidates from the Carey Business School, the School of Education, the Peabody Conservatory of Music, the School of Nursing, the Bloomberg School of Public Health, the Paul H. Neitz School of Advanced International Studies, the School of Medicine, the G.W.C. Whiting School of Engineering, and the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences. Bachelor's degree candidates from the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences. Please welcome the faculty members of the Johns Hopkins University. Now entering the Johns Hopkins University Vice Presidents, officials, and trustees. Please stand for the procession of the Presidential Party led by Chief Marshal Robert Lieberman. The Chief Marshal is followed by the University Deans, Honorary Degree recipients, Board of Trustees Chair Jeffrey Aronson, and President Ronald Daniels. Please remain standing for the invocation and national anthem.
ceremony will now come to order. Good morning. I'm Robert Lieberman, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, and I'm honored to serve as Chief Marshal for the 2014 commencement ceremony at the Johns Hopkins University. University Chaplain Kathy Schnur will offer the invocation. Please remain standing for the invocation and for the national anthem, which will be sung by Peabody Bachelor's Degree candidate Alex Rosen.
My sisters and brothers, let us pray. Loving and merciful God, we are so very thankful to be assembled here this gorgeous morning to celebrate the Johns Hopkins University class of 2014. Their accomplishments are many, and our hearts are filled with joyful energy by the possibilities that lie ahead. Source of truth for all generations, we are keenly and humbly aware that our success comes as the result of not only our own countless hours of exploration, but also as the result of the support and encouragement of our instructors, our mentors, our friends, and many others we have known along the way. The ability to engage intricate and internal questions and the courage to change course as discoveries led to surprising and new pursuits is a shared accomplishment. We are especially grateful for the dedication, love, and sacrifices of our parents and families, those who are here today for this auspicious event, and those who are celebrating from afar. We remember also today those whom we hold dear who are no longer with us, especially Christine Kim, whose life ended tragically too soon. We deeply miss them, and they will always be carried in our hearts. Generous Creator, we are awed by the elegance of the expanse of the cosmos, the splendor of the tiniest particles, and the gorgeous mosaic of humanity. May our lives be examples of beauty and generosity, justice and hope, courage and wisdom, comfort and healing. As we leave this place, may we know and be shalom. May we know and be salam. May we know and be shanti. May we know and be peace. Together, as your loving people, we say, Amen.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great. Fantastic. Congratulations. Thanks a lot. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jeffrey Aronson, Chair of the Board of Trustees.
Honored guests, my colleagues on the Board of Trustees and on the faculty, and most importantly to the graduates, I wish you all a good morning. This is a great day for you and a great day for us. From this day forward, you will be identified as graduates of the Johns Hopkins University. Your association with Johns Hopkins will serve you well for the rest of your life, more so perhaps than you may recognize this morning. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I extend our heartiest congratulations on a job well done and best wishes in your life to come. In this country, higher education is, and always has been, advanced through the gifts, enthusiasm, and passion of its alumni. We look forward to your loyalty and support for our great university, whose future, in a very real sense, is now in your hands. For our part, we pledge to do everything in our power to make sure Johns Hopkins remains a leader in higher education and a university of which you will always be proud. I am delighted at this time to carry on a great Johns Hopkins tradition. Will the mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, and partners of the candidates for degrees rise and remain standing? As you can see behind me, President Daniels and his wife, Joanne Rosen, are also standing. This is the first time a Johns Hopkins president has presided over the graduation of his own child. Today, all of your attention is directed to your daughters and sons, your wives and your husbands and your partners who are soon to receive their degrees. However, your appreciation of the great value of a Johns Hopkins education, your understanding of the need to make sometimes difficult sacrifices in pursuit of that goal, and the unconditional support you have shown all along the way are, in no small part, responsible for their tremendous achievement today. We, the trustees, faculties, students, and administration of the Johns Hopkins University honor and salute you. Thank you very much. Please be seated. And again, congratulations to all our graduates on this very special day.
Thank you, Jeff. And now I'm pleased to introduce Ms. Terry McBride, a 1999 graduate of the Paul H. Nitze School of Advanced International Studies, a member of the university's Board of Trustees, and president of the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association.
Good morning. On behalf of the Johns Hopkins Alumni Association, it is indeed my pleasure and my honor to welcome you, the graduating class of 2014, to this next stage of your Alumni Hopkins journey. As a university community, we celebrated when you first made the decision to join the Hopkins family. When you enrolled, you joined a family of more than 170,000 alumni across the country and around the world. A family that has a unique appreciation of everything you have done to earn your Hopkins degree today. Johns Hopkins is more than a university that is respected for its commitment to the pursuit and advancement of knowledge. It is a hub of a vast alumni family, and today it grows stronger and larger because of you. Beyond this campus, your fellow alumni are leaders, pioneers, and visionaries in virtually every walk of life. As you leave, know that your fellow alumni await you, and that they offer a wealth of resources, knowledge, and support. Remember, the Alumni Association is here to help you tap into and maintain those relationships and tap into those invaluable resources throughout your life for many years beyond this special day. To the class of 2014, you have all accomplished great things, And on behalf of Johns Hopkins Alumni Association, I wish you the very best and look forward to hearing of your accomplishments yet to come. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Today's commencement ceremony marks the close of the 138th academic year of the Johns Hopkins University. In that time, 14 presidents have led the university, beginning with our first president, Daniel Coit-Gilman, who originated the research mission of the university and hired the first faculty. Our current president, Ronald Daniels, assumed office on March 2nd, 2009. As is traditional, he will now address the candidates for degrees. Ron.
Good morning. Good morning. To our honorary degree recipients, alumni, and trustees, to our faculty and staff, to our parents, family members and friends, and most especially to our graduates, welcome, welcome to the Johns Hopkins University commencement for the great class of 2014. I recognize that you are a class that has put up with some extreme conditions to reach this day. The churning construction on Charles Street. The onslaught of organic food at the Charmar. The endless polar vortex and 7.5 snow days this year. It's lucky you're not graduating in August. The teeming rain at 5 o'clock this morning, just before you went to bed. And you've even tolerated my inexpert forays into Bollywood beside Hopkins' graceful masty dancers. Your perseverance is commendable. Truly commendable, and I want to thank you for that and for so much more. A few years ago, each of you arrived at Hopkins with a sense of optimism and infinite possibility. We exhorted you to draw on your passions and your values and chart your course. We hope that you would use your time here to figure out who you truly are and what matters most to you. And of course, you did. Through classes in Gilman, Mudd, or Schaffer Halls, you took steps towards mastering the foundations of a major, or, in vintage Hopkins fashion, multiple majors. You took on internships, directed research projects, organized late-night study groups in Brody Learning Commons, and for some unfathomable reason took pictures of other students sleeping there. You joined sports teams and dance groups, published your data and your poetry, and made friends who may be sitting beside you and among you today, and who may still be sitting beside you 30 years from now. But in some ways, we set up a deceptive progression. Because here, freshman year usually leads to sophomore year, just as Calculus 1 usually leads to Calculus 2, Convocation leads to commencement. We set a path before you, and though each of you made countless choices that shaped your experience, you are here today because you finished what you started. The path that began with point A ended with point B. But after today, the process of becoming you might not be so linear. I know many of you are wrestling with the paths ahead, wondering about the choices before you. If you say yes to medicine, what happens to your dream of becoming a concert pianist? If you take that corporate job, do you have to put aside your desire, your dream to combat drug-resistant TB in sub-Saharan Africa? If you accept that internship in Seattle, does that mark the end of your romantic relationship forged with that first furtive glance at D level? These are the quandaries, and the sense of infinite possibility may have just started to feel not quite so infinite. For perpetual overachievers, people who always knew the path ahead, this is a moment of great anxiety. What if the choices you make aren't the right choices? What options are you foreclosing? How do your choices today impact your grand plan? Obviously, choices are necessary, but no one choice defines a life or a career. Let me say that again because it's so important to carry with you. No one choice ever defines a life or a career. Indeed, you'll find the greatest careers and the greatest lives are often forged through a series of seemingly discordant or even contradictory decisions, driven by interests and passions, and woven thread by thread by thread into a coherent tapestry, more colorful, more bold than you could ever possibly imagine today. When I sat at my undergraduate commencement some 3 decades ago, I was conflicted in my own choices: entrepreneurship, economics, medicine. Then, perhaps surprisingly, I embarked on a career in the law, and my life seemed set, a choice finally made. But even when I became a law professor, the polls of other options, other interests did not fade. Over time, however, I found ways to indulge competing interests in ideas, policy, business, and community. And step by step, my zigzagging, my contradictory choices led inexorably to the perfect destination: here, a place where I, a Canadian law professor, am about to confer your degrees at a great American university with no law school. Yet, I think the chair of the board may need to be revived. My story is not unique. Our renowned commencement speaker, Susan Wojcicki, is here today because 15 years ago, she chose to leave a solid job at Intel and join a startup because it was interesting. A few seats down, Edith Windsor is here because she chose, against the advice of so many, to carry her 40-year love story all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States. And she did so because it was the right and courageous thing to do. And as you know, she triumphed there magnificently. Some of you may know exactly where you want to be in 25 years and exactly how to get there. But for the remaining 99% of you, my advice is simply forget the master plan. Instead, if you embrace the challenges at each step, taking risks propelled by your core passions and interests, the choices you face will not be either-or dilemmas. There will be time for medicine and music, for public and private and community, for Seattle and sub-Saharan Africa. By following meaningful opportunities, you will arrive inevitably and perhaps improbably at a perfect place imbued with meaning, fulfillment, and impact. By worrying less about the final outcome, you will find that the grand destination, the tapestry of your life, will reveal itself with time. Now, I should confess that today is one of those tapestry moments for me. My son, Drew, has spent the last few years largely avoiding me on campus. But on this day, Drew, on the last day of his undergraduate career, Joanne and I will be unavoidable. Drew, where are you? And Drew, what possessed you to put on that bow tie this morning? So Drew, not to put too fine a point on it, the only way you get to graduate today is by shaking my hand in front of 10,000 members of the Hopkins community. And that moment, which I could never have imagined when I sat at my undergraduate commencement some 33 years ago, will surely stand as one of the unexpected highlights of my life. Graduates today, I have the great honor, as both a president and a parent, of joining every family member gathered here in expressing our collective admiration, our sense of wonder, our infinite optimism about your future. We are all so very proud of you and what you've accomplished. So, with that, members of the great class of 2014, choose wisely. And if you don't worry. You'll have the chance to choose and choose again. Godspeed and congratulations. Thank you. I now have the great privilege of presenting the 7 truly extraordinary individuals who will, in just a moment, be recognized for their peerless accomplishments in their fields, the distinguished honorary degree recipients of 2014.
We are Johns Hopkins University.
Johns Hopkins University.
We are innovative.
We are bold.
We are pioneering.
We are entrepreneurial.
We are courageous.
Visionary.
Passionate.
We are groundbreaking.
We are proud to honor the men and women who share our vision to make the world a better place
and to help others build a better tomorrow.
Business and thought leader Norman Augustine.
My message today is that the American dream can survive, but only if we have the willpower to make America a place that can continue to offer opportunity to all people.
Historian and Pulitzer Prize winner Taylor Branch.
The great lesson of our future is to what degree we are willing to look to the inspiration and the discipline of American history.
Attorney and activist Roberta Kaplan.
The justices have spoken. Discrimination against gay people solely because they are gay violates the United States Constitution.
Business leader and visionary Pam Flaherty.
It's not enough to have a good education. It's got to lead to a meaningful opportunity to have economic success for people and for their families.
College president and community leader Fred Lazarus IV.
One of the important parts of our mission was really Baltimore. It was really important for us that Baltimore, particularly the communities around us, be as strong and healthy as possible.
Activist and citizen Edith Windsor.
The federal government can no longer discriminate against the marriages of gay and lesbian Americans, and those who happen to be gay will be free to love and get married as everyone else.
Business and online pioneer Susan Wojcicki.
Sometimes we can see glimpses of how the world will change in the future. And if we can see that glimpse, we can build that future.
We at Johns Hopkins are proud to honor you
for having the courage to break new ground,
the vision to see the possibilities, and the passion to work for the benefit of all mankind.
Each year at commencement, the university recognizes extraordinary contributions by conferring honorary degrees. As you have already seen, 7 candidates for honorary degrees will now be presented. Dr. Ed Schlesinger, the Benjamin T. Rome Dean of the GWC Whiting School of Engineering, will begin our presentation of candidates for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Norman Augustine please stand forward?
You have said that you found yourself quite by accident leading others, but you are, in fact, one of the great leaders of our time, having overseen some of our country's largest organizations. You have served your country's military with honor and have fought tirelessly to protect our nation's security. You have been an outspoken supporter of science and engineering education and have been recognized by the National Academy of Sciences with its highest honor, the Public Welfare Medal. Norman Augustine, for your accomplishments as a business leader and thinker, for your courage in speaking honestly about our nation's strengths and weaknesses, and for your advocacy in support of educating America's next generation, the Johns Hopkins University is proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Dr. Catherine Newman, the James B. Knapp Dean of the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences, will present the next candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Taylor Branch please stand forward?
Taylor Branch, you have made it your life's work to shine a light on the accomplishments of some of our greatest civil rights leaders and to foster a national dialogue even when it made us uncomfortable. Your books, detailing one of the most significant periods in American history, have earned you a place among our most respected historians. Taylor Branch, for your accomplishments as an author, teacher, and storyteller, for your relentless commitment to equality and human rights, and for helping the citizens of our own time and in generations to come understand and interpret events vital to our national identity, the Johns Hopkins University is proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
Dr. Vali Nasser, Dean of the Paul H. Nitze School of Advanced International Studies, will present the next candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Pamela Flaherty please stand forward?
Pamela Flaherty, you have devoted yourself to the success of others. In your role at Citi, you have helped thousands of individuals across the world grow their businesses, attend college, and rebuild their communities in times of need. Here at Johns Hopkins, you have generously shared your leadership, your talent, and your time. Pamela Flaherty, for your commitment to making our shared world prosperous and sustainable for all, for your unflagging dedication to our university, and for your presence at convocations, commencements, board meetings, and anywhere else your wisdom and talents were needed, the Johns Hopkins University is proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
Dr. Patricia Davidson, Dean of the School of Nursing, will present the next candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Roberta Kaplan please stand forward?
You showed courage and conviction when you agreed to take on the Defence of Marriage Act. When arguing before the Supreme Court, you said that no one has identified any legitimate difference between gay couples and straight married couples that can possibly explain the sweeping, undifferentiated, and categorical discrimination of DOMA. At that time, only 9 states permitted gay couples to marry. A year later, 17 states do. Roberta Kaplan, for being a bold champion of the right of people who love each other to marry and to enjoy the full legal benefit of that union, for standing strong in the face of monumental challenges, and for continuing to fight for human rights for all. The Johns Hopkins University is proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
Winston Tabb, Dean of the Sheridan Libraries and Museums, will present the next candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Fred Lazarus please stand forward?
You have been called one of the thought leaders of Baltimore, and rightly so. You are a visionary who believes strongly that academic institutions can and should help revitalize and energize the neighborhoods in which they operate. Your ideas about the integration of arts, education, and community development have transformed the Maryland Institute College of Art and have brought unprecedented attention to Baltimore's creative community. Fred Lazarus, for believing that serving your own institution means serving the larger community as well, for contributing your expertise to arts organizations locally and nationally, and for your courage and commitment in growing and sustaining a more vibrant city for artists and for all of us. The Johns Hopkins University is proud to confer upon you the degree of Humane Letters honoris causa.
Dr. Michael Clagg, Dean of the Bloomberg School of Public Health, will present the next candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Edith Windsor please stand forward?
You have been called an unlikely activist, but you had the courage to fight against injustice and in support of the many loving gay and lesbian couples who had been excluded from the federal protections and provisions extended to other married people. Because of your courage, the Defense of Marriage Act has been declared unconstitutional, and legally married same-sex couples are now recognized and protected by the federal government. Edith Windsor, for your strength and determination in your fight for marriage equality and for human rights, the Johns Hopkins University is proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Dr. Paul Rothman, the Francis Watt Baker and Lennox D. Baker Jr. Dean of the Medical Faculty, will present the final candidate for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Susan Wojcicki please stand forward?
Renting your garage to the founders of Google may have been a practical decision, but you quickly recognized the company's potential to change the world. As Senior Vice President of Advertising and Commerce, you played a vital leadership role at Google, and you're now applying your tremendous vision, creativity, and business savvy as the CEO of YouTube. Throughout your career, you have insisted on bringing others along with you, advocating for the education of girls and the advancement of women in technological fields. Susan Wojcicki, for your visionary role of revolutionizing the way we search for and share information, for contributing not just to the business you work for, but to the way we understand business today, and for inspiring the next generation of leaders, the Johns Hopkins University is proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Before I confer the degrees on the honorary degree graduates, I just would pause and say that for my many years here, each year at this time, you're just struck by the quite extraordinary lives that touch us and touch our society, and that we have an opportunity to honor at an event like this. This year, I think we have a truly remarkable constellation of human achievement, of courage, of passion, of creativity, of a yearning for justice, of technological innovation. So many different spheres of our society are touched by this extraordinary group. And I would just ask to join me and once again recognize their receipt of honorary degrees today. And with that, Norman Augustine, Taylor Branch, Pamela Flaherty, Roberta Kaplan, Fred Lazarus IV, I got that, Fred, Edith Windsor, and Susan Wojcicki, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, together with all the honors, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto, and I will present you with a diploma indicating that the honor has been conferred, and that deans will now vest you with the ensign of the degree. Thank you.
Sean Glass, President of the Class of 2014, will bring greetings.
Good morning. A quarter of the way through the journey of our lives, we decided to attend one of the greatest universities in the world. When we first arrived, we were nervous about the challenges, but excited about the opportunities that we would have here. Today, dressed in our caps and gowns, we proudly represent the class of 2014 of the Johns Hopkins University. Congratulations to you all. Of course, none of this would be possible without the guidance of our mentors, first and foremost, to our parents. Thank you for sacrificing the time, the energy, and the money to ensure that we had the best possible future. To our advisors, your calm reasoning helped us to overcome every obstacle. And to our teachers, thank you for understanding when we were late on an assignment. And to the teachers who didn't understand, thank you for teaching us that we can't procrastinate in the real world. Finally, a special thank you is in order for our friends. Some say that the many small communities at the Johns Hopkins University form the larger overall community. For me, members of the swim team, the senior class council, the film society, and Greek life were the ones who defined my experiences here. To those friends, thank you for pushing me to excel, for supporting me when I needed the most, and for hanging out with me at Uni Mini at 3 a.m. on the weekends. Graduates, I challenge you to thank the friends who shaped your experiences at Hopkins. Since you're all on your phones anyways, take a second to text the person who guided you the most during your time here. Looking back, I see each year as similar to one of the floors in the library. If you're unfamiliar with our library, the first floor, M level, is on the ground level, and each succeeding floor, A, B, C, D, goes deeper and deeper underground. So freshman year was like studying on M level. We didn't get any work done, we gossiped with friends, and we checked out the cutie from Chem 101. Sophomore year was similar to the next floor, A level, in that we grouped together and thought about how we were going to use the resources at this great university to shape the world's future. By junior year, we metaphorically descended to B level. We studied alone, and the passion for our work took a central role in our lives. In our senior year, we were like the students on C level. We published award-winning papers, found top-tier jobs, coded websites, started companies, and built robots. We innovated, created, and prospered. Then there's D level, where students get glares for opening their backpacks too loudly. Here, graduate students work tirelessly to change the discourse of their respective fields. The qualities that are represented by our journey down the levels of the library, namely determination, innovation, persistence, passion, and patience, are what defines the class of 2014 and what will guide our success in the future. It is my honor to present to you the class of 2014. During our time here, we had the help and support of some amazing teachers. And so at this time, I would like to ask Ms. McBride to return to the podium to assist me in presenting the 2014 Johns Hopkins Alumni Association Excellence in Teaching Awards from both the GWC Whiting School of Engineering and the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences.
The 2014 Johns Hopkins Alumni Association Excellence in Teaching Award in the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences is presented to Christopher Falzone from the Department of Chemistry. Those who nominated him cited his joy for teaching organic chemistry. One nominator noted, "I will always remember him for his silly jokes during lecture and office hours. as well as how well he taught the many intricacies of organic chemistry with such passion. I am proud to be one of his previous students. Christopher Falzone, for sharing your joy and passion with your students, I am honored to present the Excellence in Teaching Award to you.
The 2014 Johns Hopkins Alumni Association Excellence in Teaching Award in the GWC Whiting School of Engineering is presented to Yair Amir from the Department of Computer Science. Those who nominated him cited his dedication to education, understanding of student problems, and willingness to serve as a resource. One nominator noted his individual attention to all students who ask for it, and another commented that he deserves this award because he's very accomplished and inspires me to be as accomplished as him. He also smiles a lot. Yair Amir, for teaching with passion and patience, I am honored to present the Excellence in Teaching Award to you. Today, we have the special privilege of welcoming a leader of innovation, Susan Wojcicki. As CEO of the world's most popular digital video platform, YouTube, Ms. Wojcicki has shaped the way over 1 billion users access digital media. YouTube is unique in the way that it allows small communities to interact with a global network, and Ms. Wojcicki's direction in YouTube's business operations will be critical in shaping the way the world will interact in the coming decades. In 1999, Ms. Wojcicki joined Google as the company's first marketing manager. Called the most important person in advertising, Ms. Wojcicki's supervision in pioneering Google Images and Google Books jump-started much of Google's initial success. As Senior Vice President of Advertising and Commerce, Ms. Wojcicki determined the vision and direction of Google's monetization platforms. According to Forbes, Wojcicki was responsible for 87% of the company's $50 billion in revenue, and she has repeatedly been selected by Forbes as one of the world's most powerful women. As we think about the future, Ms. Wojcicki's leadership in the innovation of new marketing strategies and her overall success as a company executive sets a distinguished example that all of us can admire and emulate. Please join me in welcoming our 2014 commencement speaker, Susan Wojcicki.
Good morning, Johns Hopkins. It's a beautiful day. There's no rain. I've never checked the weather as much as I have this past week. Thank you, Sean, for that kind introduction. And thank you, President Daniels, for inviting me here to share this special day with all of you. Today's a big day, and I know everyone worked incredibly hard to make it happen, and I'm honored to be here to share it with you. Congratulations to the Board of Trustees, esteemed faculty, all the proud parents, supporting friends and family, but especially, let's give a big congratulations to the Blue Jay class of 2014. So I thought long and hard about what I wanted to say to all of you here today. I thought about my own commencement and commencement speaker. I thought about lessons learned, words of wisdom offered, and after thinking very deeply about it, I realized I remembered absolutely nothing from that speech. Nada. So I will consider this talk a success if you remember just one thing. And here's the first thing you could remember. Setting achievable goals is important. So let's get started. It turns out that most of you were born the same year as the internet as we know it. You probably cannot imagine a world without texting, emailing, blogging, friending, tweeting, Googling, and yes, watching YouTube videos, probably when you were supposed to be studying on D level. I just learned that. Yet, none of those verbs existed when I was in my cap and gown. And now the world has over 2 billion people doing those things every day. Back then, only really bad things went viral, like mono. Things you definitely did not want. Now videos like David After Dentist or Psy, Gangnam Style, or the recent video of cats rescuing kids from vicious dogs go viral. That proves it. The world has changed a lot since I graduated. The acceleration of technological progress is unmatched in our history, and it's not going to slow down. It's only going to speed up. So I want to share a few stories, 3 stories from my life, and how I think they can help you in the new, fast-moving world that you're about to enter. I joined Google during the height of the first .com boom in the late 1990s. Now, I know this seems like ancient time to you guys, but it really was not that long ago. At the time, I was newly married, and my husband and I decided to buy a house, which was a huge decision. We could barely afford the mortgage, so we decided we would rent part of our house and the garage. Thanks to a mutual friend, we rented our garage to 2 graduate students at Stanford who had just started a company and were looking for office space. They seemed nice. Their ideas sounded kind of crazy. Back then, no one had heard of Larry Page and Sergey Brin or the new company with the funny name. Google? What? What does that mean? It doesn't really matter. As long as you guys pay the rent on time, you guys can build your googly thing here. Once they moved in, we had late nights together in the garage eating pizza and M&Ms, where they talked to me about how their technology could change the world. But then they would go on equally excited about the fact that my house had a washer and dryer. They made bold proclamations. We're going to organize the entire World Wide Web, followed by, which day is recycling day? And when I asked them how much experience they had to back this ambitious plan, they would say, well, our combined age is almost 50. And they were entering a competitive area. There were many well-funded search engines, famous at the time, although you've probably never heard of them. Alta Vista, Lycos, Excite. Can you imagine if you wanted to search for something online and you had to say, I'm gonna Alta Vista, the answer? That would be kind of awkward. Or let's go Excite that. You guys should be grateful to Larry and Sergey for the name alone. So I was working at Intel at the time, and I think I can say this now. I thought they were crazy. But then one day, something funny happened at work. I opened up my browser to look something up, and it turned out that Google was down. There was an error page. And I sat there and I couldn't get my work done because I realized that no other search service could find the information. I had become dependent on Google for doing my day-to-day work. And then it hit me. If Google had become so indispensable to me, then maybe the vision that Larry and Sergey had wasn't so crazy. Maybe there were people all over the world sitting at their computers, upset right now because they couldn't get what they needed done because the site developed by those 2 dudes in my garage was down. It turns out that finding information matters. It matters a lot to a lot of people. And accessing that information could instantly empower people across the globe. I decided I wanted to work for Google, which at the time also was crazy. With a mortgage to pay, student loans, I'd have to leave a comfortable job at a Fortune 500 company and work for the guys who lived in my garage at a startup with no revenue, a handful of male employees, and also, did I mention I was pregnant? Now people thought I was a crazy one. So looking back on this, I've learned that life doesn't always present you with the perfect opportunity at the perfect time. Opportunities come when you least expect them, or when you're not ready for them. Rarely are opportunities presented to you in the perfect way, in a nice little box with a yellow bow on top. Here, open it, it's perfect, you'll love it. Opportunities, the good ones, they're messy and confusing and hard to recognize. They're risky, they challenge you. But things happen so fast because our world is changing so much. You have to make decisions without perfect information. You have to make decisions based on the fact that the world is going to continue to change. Believe that the status quo will be supplanted by something better, that someone's crazy business idea will become real and important. Believe that this technology, however small today, is going to be big in the future. It could make life better, easier, more meaningful for millions of people, maybe billions. Belief that this groundbreaking cancer research is going to save lives. Belief that next year, Johns Hopkins lacrosse will win the national championship. Look, I know that the opportunity I had with Google may seem one of a kind, but think how much our world has changed since you've all grown up. Think of the new companies, technologies, discoveries just in your lifetimes. Smartphones came out when you were in high school, and now you can't live without them. You can take your phone, take a video, share it on YouTube with a few clicks, and share it with the world. Take a picture, put a filter on it, share it with everyone you know, all while listening to your music that's in the cloud. In fact, you guys could be doing this right now. So instead of saying not to do that, if you are doing it, just say something nice about my talk. Hashtag JHU 2014. And it's not just the web, genomics, nanotechnology, bioinformatics, health medicine, all parts of society. You will have opportunities you cannot even imagine right now. So here's the one thing you could choose to remember. It's those opportunities, the ones that make you believe in the future. Those will be the best ones. Those are the ones that can change your life, and those are the ones that can change the world. So now I want to talk about YouTube. Do you guys use YouTube? I want to talk about how I first discovered it and then almost lost it. It's a story about recognizing an opportunity, but also about facing failure. I know it's hard to believe, but in 2004, there was no YouTube. And video on the internet was rare. We were trying to figure out the right strategy for Google to be in the online video business. We were trying lots of different things, and nothing was getting traction. And one day, we decided we would allow users to upload their video to Google. We didn't tell users what would happen to their videos, and we had no ideas what users would send to us. It was an experiment in every sense. But amazingly, people all over the world uploaded lots and lots and lots of video. And it just went into a database at Google that nobody could see. So a Friday night later, we got together and decided we'd watch some of these videos and see what should we do with this new experiment. We opened the first video and waited. It was of a purple, furry puppet dancing and singing in Swedish. You know, just what we're used to watching on TV. It was probably one of the first user-generated videos anyone had ever seen. And honestly, I had no idea what to think. But my kids knew what to think. They cheered. Play it again! We played that video a lot. The videos were unusual. I hadn't seen anything like it before. They were interesting and funny, and more importantly, everyone wanted to see more of them. We started building out a platform called Google Video for users to upload and see their videos. And every day we were getting more and more uploads to Google Video. We had our first hit, and it wasn't from where you thought it would be from. It was two college students, two Chinese college students in their dorm room singing and dancing to the Backstreet Boys with their roommate doing their homework in the background. And in spite of this, it became the first video to reach 1 million views, which was a lot back then. That clip gave us an insight about the future of video. We realized online video was a new medium, that it could unleash the creativity of people all over the world and also spark the curiosity of people who wanted to watch them. And even though we knew this was early, it had the potential to be big. But soon after we had our initial success with Google Video, another site launched, YouTube, and it started growing faster, a lot faster. And all of a sudden, we saw our newfound success slipping away. And just after we thought we were winning, we found out that we were losing. We were scared and confused. Very quickly, I had to make a tough call. Do we pretend that things are okay and try to fix them and continue to build out Google Video and hope we catch up? Or do we admit our failure and look to acquire YouTube, a company with no revenue, lots of legal liability, it was only a year old, and pay $1.6 billion for it? And just as we were making this decision, as if it was not hard enough, an industry veteran, an internet investor, published a well-read article saying, only a moron would buy YouTube. Well, you know how this ended. I guess you can call me a moron. But I had to go to our founders and our board and tell them the product that we'd spent so much time building, Google Video, was losing, and we would have to spend over $1.5 billion to fix the mistake. It was painful, it was public, it was one of the hardest decisions that I've had to make. People on my team quit in revolt. But acting fast, facing up to the problem, making a decision, buying YouTube, and then investing heavily in it was also one of the best decisions that we've ever made. Today, YouTube has over 1 billion users around the world, with 180 hours uploaded every single minute. It's been used to develop stars like Michelle Phan, Smosh, Macklemore, and Justin Bieber, although we won't dwell on that one for too long. It's helped grow companies like Vice, GoPro, and it's shined light on political strife in places like Egypt, Venezuela, and most recently, Ukraine. The global community shares songs like Pharrell's Happy and videos like, well, like this one.
Con los terroristas.
Harlem Shake.
That's a shortened version. That's in the library. Anyway, you guys are talented, very talented. That's really good shaking. YouTube, over a relatively short period of time, has become the primary platform for people to entertain, dance, just like that, sing, laugh, love, learn. If I hadn't owned up to my mistake and confronted failure fast, instead of ignoring it, I would not be here today. So maybe another possible thing for you guys to remember, see, I'm trying to help you guys. When you fail, face your failure. Face it head on, admit it, grow from it. When the world spins so fast, it means no one knows what the right answer is, and everyone will face failure. Ideas that were once can't miss, missed. Companies that were surefire went down in flames. It's what you do when that happens that determines who ultimately succeeds and who does not. Failure is part of the process. It's where we learn the most, and it's what makes us who we are. Now, as I look out at all of you, I'm reminded of my own graduation. I remember there were an awful lot of question marks for me. Graduating meant leaving behind my friends, my college life. It meant I'd have to figure out what to do with my real life. And I had no idea what I was going to do. I had no job lined up, no prospects. My big plan was to go home, live with my parents, and share the family car with my little sister. Now, to some of you, that might sound like a strange fear. Hopkins is a unique place, and that some of you have known exactly what you've wanted to do since you set foot on this campus. Many of you have useful degrees: biomedical engineering, public health, economics, applied math, computer science. What else am I missing? Okay, all those others, those two. Those are useful degrees. I had a degree in history and literature, which is a great degree too, but there's some of the least practical majors, and I combined them. And it's not like I didn't have ideas about what to do after graduating. I had too many. I thought about taking the Foreign Service exam, about spending life as a diplomat. I even thought about medical school and how I could save sick people. But then I also thought about waiting tables and maybe opening a cupcake shop. But in the meantime, I needed my life intervened. I became practical. I needed money after graduation, and my parents were not going to pay my way anymore. I stopped worrying about getting the right job, and I focused on just getting a job. And although it was quite difficult at the time, I need to thank my parents for forcing me out into the workforce. My mom and dad are here today. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for making me get up, get out, and do something. That something turned out to be technology. With just a couple of courses of computer programming under my belt, I found work for a small educational startup in Palo Alto. And I discovered that technology was creative. I could build things for people all over the world. It was the start of a journey that has led me to incredible places. But it was never my plan. So maybe one thing more to try to remember is plans are made to be broken. You need to be prepared to explore a bit, to make decisions on what you find, enjoy, discover. I never would have experienced any of that. I never would have discovered that technology could be creative. I never would have started my career in tech, joined Google, led YouTube, if I'd tried to stick to a specific plan that I had made when I was your age. The internet as we know it didn't exist yet when I graduated. We need to think about our plans being written in pencil, not pen, willing to change as the world changes and as we change. I guarantee you, you will change course, go backwards, spring forward, bounce sideways. Some of you will need to adjust the plans that you currently have because they'll turn out to be the wrong fit. Some of you will start a business you have no idea right now that the world needs. Some of you will fall in love and move halfway across the world. Some of you could open a cupcake shop. Thank you in advance to those people. There's the old John Lennon quote, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." So as you sit there and look around and say, man, I still have a lot to figure out. I don't know exactly where I'm headed. Just know that's okay. And your parents should hear that too. It's okay. If your parents have concerns, they can talk to my parents. They're right over there in the front row. My parents could probably write a book of their own about their 3 crazy daughters and the journeys that we took along the way, a journey that encompassed babysitting, investment banking, trips across Siberia, learning Swahili, studying childhood obesity, and starting a personal genomics company. So far, we've turned out okay. So, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our parents and those who have supported us to get to this point so far, and thank them in advance for their support as you fumble, fidget, and yes, fail sometimes, and figure out the right path for you. But wherever that path goes, I promise it couldn't happen without the people supporting you, filling this stadium, who encourage and inspire you to get there. So let's give them all a big thanks now. If you had told the Hopkins class when I graduated that the world would be transformed by the internet, that 2 billion people would be connected online, that you would find all the world's knowledge in your pocket, that you could map full genomes for a few $1,000s, that you could develop touchscreen technology that you could talk to, like in Star Trek, no one would have believed you. Well, actually, this is Hopkins. So there probably would have been a few who would have said, duh, we knew that was going to happen. But anyway, for most of us, the future was beyond our imagination, as it is beyond yours. So you, this class, this generation that's grown up in a digital world, you understand the power of connection like no other class that came before you. You can make an impact far greater than the engineers and doctors and physicists and governors and writers and cabinet secretaries and 22 Nobel laureates who came before you on this campus. Yes, you, all of you here, wearing those black hats and black robes, you have opportunities that none of them could have imagined. And now you have an education that will allow you to design and create the future for all of us. The world is spinning faster, but it's at your fingertips. You can spin it for yourselves. You, as Blue Jays, can soar. So remember this, if you remember nothing else. You can be the crazy kid in some lady's garage going on and on and on about how you're going to change the world, and then you can go out and actually do it. So thank you and congratulations, Johns Hopkins class of 2014. Keep on shaking.
Thank you, Susan, for those just magnificent and inspiring words. At this time, I'd like to invite Drew Lash and Jonathan Hunt, co-chairs of the Senior Class Gift Committee, to present the class gift to President Daniels.
Good morning. I'm John Hunt, and this is Drew Lash, and we are the co-chairs of the 2014 Senior Class Gift Campaign. The Senior Class Gift Campaign launched in January, and it invited seniors to donate $20.14 in honor of our graduation year. Donors were able to choose which area of Hopkins to support, designating gifts to financial aid, academic research, and student life, to name a few.
We know that this contribution is just the beginning of our class's efforts to give back to a university that has given us so much. Though we spend only 4 short years at Homewood, we spend a lifetime in the Hopkins community. On behalf of the entire committee, we are excited to announce that we have reached 53% class participation, the highest senior class gift participation in Hopkins history. Thanks to your... Thanks to your generosity, we are proud to present this check on behalf of the class of 2014 to President Daniels in the amount of $19,463.60. luck and congratulations.
Drew, John, I just wanted to let you know that the number again?
$19,463.60.
Joanne and I are really touched by this, and we have decided to contribute 40 cents to round this up to $19,464. Thank you so much, class of 2014. Joanne said, why didn't we discuss that first? In a moment, we're going to begin our degree presentation. Before we do, I want to recognize two of our deans whose leadership and vision helped bring our graduates to this day, Dean Catherine Newman and Dean Jeff Sharkey. Director Jeff Sharkey, as you leave Baltimore, we thank you for all that you've done for Johns Hopkins, and we wish you very, very well. And so it begins.
The deans will now present doctoral candidates to receive their degrees. Cindy Parker and Andrew Douglas will read the candidates' names. We ask the candidates to come forward without delay. Dean David Andrews will present the doctoral candidates from the School of Education.
Mr. President.
How are you, Dean?
This time last year, I presented you candidates from the #2 ranked Graduate School of Education in the United States. Ever the inspirational leader, you urged us to do better. So we did. Mr. President, I'm pleased to present candidates who have been certified by the faculty of the #1 ranked Graduate School of Education. I present them for their degree of Doctor of Education.
Dean, that's wonderful, and I'm, of course, delighted to confer these degrees, but as I recall, I think I said I was hoping over the next 3 years you would have a rolling average of remaining the #1 school in the country. I have a slightly different recollection, but I'm confident that you'll take us there. With that, by virtue of the authority invested in me by the Board of Trustees of Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degree Doctor of Education from the School of Education for which you have been certified by the faculty, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
Will the recipients of the degrees just conferred please come forward when your name is called?
Now,
for the Doctor of Education, Monique Green.
Where's Monique? Monique, come here. So just before we start conferring our degrees, I want to make a very brief point, and that is commencement is, at least at Johns Hopkins, both about the individual and the community. Now, as you can see, we are all here to celebrate the very first person in line, Monique Green, a candidate for the Doctor of Education. And that's wonderful. It's a perfect moment. But I gotta tell you, right now, I'm thinking of Sam Zorowitz, the last of our bachelor candidates. Sam, where are you? Stand up. Sam, wave to me. Now, I should tell you, I walked out with Sam earlier this morning, and I said, Sam, I know you wear your surname proudly, but how does it feel to always be at the end of the alphabet? And there commenced an outpouring of grief that shook me to the foundation. Sam, in kindergarten, waiting so patiently for apple juice and cookies. Waiting. Sam at graduation after graduation, waiting. And here's the real heartbreak that shook me to the core of my being. 4 years ago, when Johns Hopkins sent out its acceptances into the class of 2014, we did so alphabetically. Sam's application turned up weeks after everyone else. He bears all that. So I ask you that as you're all here for Monique, let's all be around for poor old Sam. He deserves this. Monique, congratulations.
Rebecca Sue Lindsay.
Benjamin Washburn, Jr.
Harry Charles Walker.
Director Sharkey will present the doctoral candidates from the Peabody Conservatory of Music.
Mr. President, I'm very pleased to present to you candidates who have been certified by the faculty of the Peabody Conservatory of Music for the degrees of Artist Diploma and Doctor of Musical Arts. They represent the highest levels of performance tied to scholarship, and we pried them out of their practice rooms at 7:15 this morning to get them here on time.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degrees Artist Diploma and Doctor of Musical Arts from the great Peabody Conservatory of Music, for which you have been certified by the faculty, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
Will the recipients of the degree just conferred please come forward when your name is called?
For the Doctor of Musical Arts, Hui Chen Chen.
Sophie Ji-hei Hong.
Jian Huang.
Cheryl Schwanzi Lim.
Lauren Elizabeth Rausch.
Alexis Elaine Schultz Rouse.
Dean Davidson will present the doctoral candidates from the School of Nursing.
Mr. President, this year marks 125 years of nursing at Johns Hopkins, and it's my great pleasure to present to you the persons whose names are listed in the program and who have been certified by the faculty of the School of Nursing for their degrees of Doctor of Nursing Practice and Doctor of Philosophy who cannot be here today. I ask you to confer their degrees in absentia.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon the candidates unable to be present the degrees Doctor of Nursing Practice and Doctor of Philosophy from the School of Nursing, for which they have been certified by the faculty, together with the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
It's a good thing we have engineers on the podium. Dean Clagg will present the doctoral candidates from the Bloomberg School of Public Health.
Thank you, Provost. Mr. President.
Good morning, Dean.
I am really pleased and honored to present to you from the Bloomberg School of Public Health, the #1 ranked school for the last 25 years, candidates who have worked hard and overcome every obstacle in their support of our school's mission of protecting health, saving lives, millions at a time. Candidates who have been certified by the faculty of the Bloomberg School of Public Health for their degrees of Doctor of Science, Doctor of Public Health, and Doctor of Philosophy.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degrees Doctor of Science, Doctor of Public Health, and Doctor of Philosophy from the #1 ranked Bloomberg School of Public Health, for which you have been certified by the faculty, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
For the Doctor of Philosophy, Tatenda Geraldine Wufudzi.
Doctor of Nursing Practice, Scott Michael Newton. Guy Cole. Gary Stephen Young. Sapekshita Agrawal. Sarah Catherine Wilson Beckham. Elliot Richard Hout. Edward Raphael Hammond. Renata Fortenberry Hilson. Maren Jalensky. Muzi Na. Mikhail Newport Berra. Fumilola Ola Run. Hillary S. Parker. Amy Summers. Christina Ji Sun. Maria A. Villarroel. Ying Wei.
Dean Nasser will present the doctoral candidates from the Paul H. Nitze School of Advanced International Studies.
Mr. President.
Good morning, Dean.
The hardworking and accomplished persons whose names are listed in the program and who have been certified by the faculty of the incomparable and #1 Paul H. Nitze School of Advanced International Studies for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy cannot be here today. I ask you to confer the degrees in absentia.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon the candidates unable to be present the degree of Doctor of Philosophy from the Paul H. Nitze School of Advanced International Studies, for which they have been certified by the faculty, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Dean Rothman will present the doctoral candidates from the School of Medicine.
We're so proud to present to you these incredible group of MDs and PhD candidates. They come from the top school of medicine in the world. They are tremendous, and we're so proud of what they've already accomplished and their further accomplishments to cure disease and improve the health of the community in the world. So, Mr. President, I'm pleased to present to you the candidates who've been certified by the faculty of the School of Medicine for their degrees of Doctor of Medicine and Doctor of Philosophy.
It is my great privilege and pleasure to say, by the virtue of authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degrees Doctor of Medicine and Doctor of Philosophy from the School of Medicine, for which you have been certified by the faculty, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
Will the recipients of the degree just conferred please come forward when your name is called?
For the Doctor of Philosophy, Sankar Adali.
Ifanyichuku Anidi. Hanson Bo. Sebastian M. Jara. Dwayne Raymond Ford. Andre Rashad Kidd. Roger William Samuels. Ruth Tamrat. Agirim Jamanakava. Ukuna Ihanucho. Matthew Knable. Haley Sierra Ma. Ting Martin Ma. Lucas Johannes Rantner. Taylor Louise Reynolds. Ashley St. Fleur. John Joseph Skoko. Soroush Solju. Kelly McDowell Wilson. Mariela Angela Zeledon.
Dean Schlesinger will present the doctoral candidates from the GWC Whiting School of Engineering.
Mr. President, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the first class graduating in the 2nd century of the Whiting School of Engineering, a class that has learned that in 168 hours a week, if you're working 80 hours, you're working part-time. Mr. President, I'm pleased to present the candidates who have been certified by the faculty of the GWC Whiting School of Engineering for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degree Doctor of Philosophy from the GWC Whiting School of Engineering, for which you have been certified by the faculty together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
Will the recipients of the degree just conferred please come forward when your name is called?
For the Doctor of Philosophy, Nash Borges.
Joseph Ayo Akinyele.
Wei Chiang Chen.
Kunlun Bai.
Tara Dawn Edwards.
Cynthia Marie Bayer.
Elad Fernberg.
Tanya Rosemarie Tim Heng Chen.
Yang Huang.
Stephen Louis Gratian Farias.
Chunwoo Kim.
Jason Scott Graham.
Lindsay R. Lindemood.
Kan An Huing.
Charles Lloyd Nelson.
Keith Russell Kinsley.
Chengji Shi.
Francisco David Munoz.
Yi Yang.
Kailash Patil.
Peng Yi.
Yi-Chen Chin. Ming Sun. Paul Tian Prapa. Min Ling Ye.
Dean Newman will present the doctoral candidates from the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences.
Well, Mr. President, this is it for me. So let me tell you about the long-suffering, hard-working, extraordinarily brilliant doctoral candidates from the Zanville Krieger School of the Arts and Sciences. I don't know whether they're going to change the practical world, but I can tell you that they have studied Shakespeare's sonnets and invented new molecules. They've studied colonial Latin America and talked about dark matter. What they're committed to above all is knowledge for its own sake. And that is something to be celebrated in a great university, and hence it gives me great pride to present to you the doctoral candidates from the Graduate School of the Arts and Sciences.
Thank you, Dean. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degree Doctor of Philosophy from the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences, for which you have been certified by the faculty together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
Will the recipients of the degree just conferred please come forward when your name is called so we can give you a proper shout out.
And for the Doctor of Philosophy, Srinivas Aripala.
Charles Evan Beller.
Christopher Peter Brust.
Brian Mark Doctorow.
Faisal Fakari.
Patrick Fessenbecker.
Erin Elise Fleming.
Jonathan Eric Ganap.
Catherine Ann Hinnemach Watson.
Huang Han Huang.
Christo Nikolaev Kirov.
Hillary Ann Letwin.
Yuki Lee.
Nora A. Laurie.
James Alexander Magruder III.
Alexis Elaine Marianis.
Heather Dana Davis Parker.
Daniel Stephen Pashuti.
Lene Sinet Quick.
Christopher Ian Stolarski.
Duncan McAnuff Sears Sinclair.
Atefa Taheri.
Michael McLaughlin Strayer.
Lerna Uzashi.
Timothy Chow Tran.
Ling Xiao.
Jamie L. Waters.
Claudio Salacini.
Erin Grace Sarukian.
Yishen Zhao.
Shaolei Zhu.
Jiyol Bei. Robert Aaron Nathanson.
We will now present master's degree, graduate certificate, graduate performance diploma, and certificate of advanced graduate study candidates for the conferral of their degrees. All of the degrees being conferred today are listed in the commencement program. As the university's chief academic officer, it is my privilege to present these candidates on behalf of the deans of their respective schools. Would the master's, bachelor's, and certificate candidates from the Carey Business School, master's, bachelor's, and certificate candidates from the School of Education, graduate performance diplomas and master's candidates from the Peabody Conservatory of Music, master's candidates from the School of Nursing, the Bloomberg School of Public Health, the Paul H. Nitze School of Advanced International Studies, the School of Medicine, master's and certificate candidates from the GWC Whiting School of Engineering, and the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences, please rise at your seats.
Let's have a round of applause before I confer the degrees. And then, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the master's degrees, graduate certificates, graduate performance diplomas, certificates of advanced study, or bachelor's degree for which you have been certified by the faculties, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Let's give a warm round of applause as we commend these graduates on their accomplishments.
Will the recipients of the degrees just conferred please be seated? The deans will now present candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science. Susan Boswell, Christopher Falzone, James Fry, Christine Kavanaugh, Dorothy Shepard, and Janet Wise will read the candidates' names. We ask the candidates to come forward without delay. Director Jeff Sharkey will present the bachelor candidates from the Peabody Conservatory of Music.
Well, we've done our journey together, and I'm so pleased to have had the chance to work with these talented young students and want to congratulate them. So, Mr. President, I'm pleased to present to you the candidates who have been certified by the faculty of the Peabody Conservatory of Music for the degrees of Bachelor of Music.
I will be delighted to do so in just one moment, but I just have to take a second to share with you all a really remarkable conversation that I had yesterday with Parveen Qureshi. Now, Parveen and her husband Bilal Qureshi are today celebrating their sixth child to graduate from Johns Hopkins. Parveen came to see me yesterday to thank me for what Johns Hopkins has done for her family. I, of course, was a little surprised and disappointed that there wasn't a seventh coming. But needless to say, we learned the story about her first child graduating from Johns Hopkins 21 years ago. And when I heard this extraordinary story, and it seemed to me only right that we set a new precedent. And so we've created a new university policy, which Jeff Aronson, the chair of the Board of Trustees, heartily endorsed, and that is any parents who graduate 5 or more children from this institution get to sit, as the Quereshis do today, on this stage. And I just ask first the Quereshis to stand up. But in the true tradition of the Academy, we're always learning. And so if somehow we have missed another family that has also 5 or more children, one of whom is graduating today, the last one, please make your way to the stage. The ushers will clear a path for you to do so in a very expeditious fashion. Let us begin. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degrees of Bachelor of Music from the Peabody Conservatory of Music, for which you have been certified by the faculty together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
We ask the recipients of the degree just conferred to please come forward when your name is called.
For the Bachelor of Music, Priscilla Munchin Chang.
Sabrina Amanda Caminero.
Brady Locke Delvecchio.
Christine Yun-hee Chu.
Jameson Charles Dickman.
Deirdre Moran DeStefano.
James Michael Duncan.
Allison Marie Drenkow.
Javier Iglesias Martin.
Song Yun Young.
Juan Kim.
Irene Ailalenti.
Yun Ju Lee.
Adam Thomas Kocher.
Daniel I. Moody.
Wan Lu Ma.
Colin McClellan Newman Reed.
Joel Negren.
Sultan Shocker.
Maria Adele Scott.
Yi Loy Taylor Tin.
Jessica Lee Stein.
Natanya Sheva Washer.
Manus Martin Villanueva.
Sayuri Hana Yano.
Brett Adam Weisenborn. Hyunjian Yu. Kevin Christopher Sabek. Elizabeth Ray Fryer. Woon-ji Yo.
Alexander Lyman Ogilby Rojan. Ian Alex Edwards. Oren Larson.
Dean Davidson will present bachelor candidates from the School of Nursing.
President.
For the Bachelor of Science.
Wait, need to be presented first.
Oh, sorry. Continuing in the excellence of tradition of nursing at Johns Hopkins, we are pleased to present to you students who have been certified by the faculty of the School of Nursing for the degrees of Bachelor of Science. And for those who cannot be here today, I ask you to confer the degree in absentia.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degree of Bachelor of Science from the School of Nursing for which you have been certified by the faculty together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
Now for the Bachelor of Science, Christina Francesca Cusimano.
Su Man.
Dean Schlesinger will present bachelor candidates from the Whiting School of Engineering.
Mr. President, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the candidates for the Bachelor's in Engineering, students who have come to learn that 3 slices of pizza is a 3-course meal and sleep is something you do after the project is done. I'm pleased to present to you candidates who have been certified by the faculty of the GWC Whiting School of Engineering for the degree of Bachelor of Science in an engineering discipline, Bachelor of Arts in an engineering discipline, and Bachelor of Arts.
Thank you, Dean. And again, welcome to your first commencement. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Johns Hopkins University, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degree of Bachelor of Science in an engineering discipline, Bachelor of Arts in an engineering discipline, and Bachelor of Arts from the GWC Whiting School of Engineering for which you have been certified by the faculty together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
We ask the recipients of the degree just conferred to please come forward when your name is called. After we have recognized the graduates who are seated on stage, names will be called in alphabetical order by degree.
We will now read the names of the engineering candidates and ask that they come forward when called, beginning with our on-stage candidate for the degree Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Jonathan Hunt. For the Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics and Statistics, Alexandra Hilda Ost.
Daniel Aaron Ben-Ami.
Kishore Midi Bharadwaj.
Weston Daniel Butler.
Jae Hyug Choi.
Alora Genevieve Clark.
Duncan Andrew Clydesdale.
Sierra M. Costanza.
Helen Catherine Crisson.
Calliope Marina Trecos.
David Pike Forster.
Alexander Lawrence Gropper. Theodore Jonathan Huang. Stephen Lai Kingry.
Zhangxi Guan.
Jordan Michael Lienhard.
Ha Yoho.
Shona Okamoto Middledorf.
Alan Giuliano.
Hung Kahi.
Rebecca Hannah Lazarus.
Irina Mihaela Rusu.
Theodoros Spiridon Manolatos.
Jeremy Robert Schwartz.
Sung Jae Oh.
Brian Michael Ward.
Baron Pudum.
Catherine E. Wilshusen.
Jenna Pack. Dean Fitzgerald Schofield. Allison Kuzma Thompson. Bryn Marshall Watson. Jeffrey Young. For the Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Nayan Agarwal.
Simon Gashaw Emmanuel.
Marissa Christine Babb.
Brian Westbrook Bernier II.
Catherine Elizabeth Bernstein.
Brandon J. Basine.
Craig Lambert Borson.
Delia Jeanette Cardona.
Aaron Junhao Chang.
Melinda Chen.
Gojun Gabriel Chu.
Margaret Ramona Chow.
Shire Chaudhry.
Jin Nyang Chun.
Stephen Philip Dalvin.
Poojan Kamlesh Desai.
Christian Constantine Dias.
Miguel Ignacio Durante.
Mats Jakob Dreyer.
Jimmy Elias.
Rochelle Elise Dum.
Kareem Riyad Fakori.
Brendan Michael Evans.
Howard James Fan.
Kevin Fang.
Jamie Michaela Fradkin.
Lucy Gao.
Catherine Michelle Gilbert.
David Paul Glover.
Ian Brock Graham.
Jennifer Alexandra Hall.
Alexia Michelle Haralambus.
Nicole Grace Hayes.
Jennifer Man Wing Hui.
Bradley Miles Isaacs.
Monal Eiler Jabur.
Hyun Soo Kevin Jong.
Alexander Stovall Jeb.
Alan Kayang Jiang.
Po Wei Kang.
Mia Michelle Kanzawa.
Maria Karapetkova.
Evan Thomas Carrero.
Joshua Christian Kays.
Divya Charlotte Kernick.
Michael Daniel Kacha.
Jong Hun Kim.
Joseph C. Kim.
Jeffrey Joseph Knox.
Brian Chowan Kuo.
Hillary Lamb.
Megan Mary Lamberti.
Theodore LeClaire.
June Lee.
Kyu Hyung Lee.
Pin Chuan Lee.
Rachel Michelle Lee.
Daniel Jacob Levinson.
Ling Shu Liu.
Deepak Lingam.
Alexander Joseph Mullen.
Kasim Mahmood.
Vaishak O. Nair.
Kuti Fati Muslu.
Hillary Elizabeth Paisley.
Truck Duck Win.
Rachel Ellen McFarland.
Hyun Sung Park.
James Shuhan Lin.
Jairo Portillo.
Matthew James Pellicor.
Maud Labib Rahman.
Leland Pung.
Sydney Ray Rooney.
Mahika Reddy.
Ashwin Kamal Sharma.
Aaron Elizabeth Rhodes.
Kavya Lahari Singampali.
Joseph Gabriel Sanchez.
Jimmy Su.
Damish Ali Shah.
Paul Eugene Tershakovec.
Album Zhaoqian Shen.
Ian Francis Tran.
Junming Ernest So.
Andrew Wang.
Emily Ann Swenson.
Kyle Theodore Wong.
Dominic Gordon Thomas.
Tiffany Young.
Amanda Lee Valador.
Alan Calhoun Zhu.
Justine Ruth Yu. Nancy Lynn Zong. Amadeus Xiaoyao Zhu. For the Bachelor of Science in Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, Hugh Bai.
Jordan James Baker.
Samantha Mercedes Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Jung Min Byun.
Kelly Marie Kahalan.
Raeun Chung.
Min Kyu Choi.
William Colhoun.
Tyler Fleming Cloutier.
Kevin Andrew Fitzel.
Jenna Daya.
Coral Jane Fung Shek.
Connor George Fleming.
Melissa Ann Goss.
Taj Gunty.
Alexis Catherine Hom.
Ruby Gao.
Jin Pyo Hong.
Mark Hall.
Kevin Lee Huang.
Bai Young Han.
Sarah Hyun Ji Kim.
Quinn Patrick Hauser.
Rachel Ilana Lawson Lookover.
Benjamin Francis Ketter.
Daniel Matthew Lewis.
Uni Attar Krupski.
Nathan Patrick Lee.
Ho Jun Lee.
Eric Lorenz.
Nicholas Liu.
Sean Carey McGovern.
Griffin McCutcheon.
Jae Hyun Moon.
Connor Paul McIntyre.
Lynette Brigitta Naylor.
James Walter Moxley Jr.
Jin Hong Park.
Chimin Ng.
Kathleen Rose Brand.
Nabapolov Pal.
Jared Rogers.
Maxwell Andreas Pins.
Molly Christine Saunders.
Sarah Beth Rinsma.
Michael Yuksuk Song.
Akshay Sangi.
Edward David Xiong.
Joshua Matthew Scaralia.
Nicholas Michael Siegel.
Melanie Ann Sachi Shimano.
Mark Charles Tuzinski.
Skylar Stern.
Jacqueline Trevero.
Andrew Mark Thierman.
Olivia Catherine Wilson.
Udit Verma.
Raymond Yuglowski.
Nicholas Worth. Wei Si Ya. For the Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Alper Adamoglu.
Kalea Carolyn Baumhofer.
Linnea Kripe.
Ryan William Daly.
Ashley Gina Feldman.
Richard Joseph Erb.
Armand Gregory Jennifer.
Hannah Margaret Evans.
Alexis Johnson.
Matthew Joseph Mercedes.
Amory Adrian Gregory Martin.
Mackenzie Christian Paul.
Eleazar Nunez.
Gareth Mark Sharp.
Fanny Tao.
Michael Charles Zikowski.
John Conavi Morris Tebow. Molly Frances Van Doren. For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Daniel Ahn.
Ethan Thomas Bennis.
Herman Gonzalez Rivas.
Sean Thomas King.
Kyle Andrew Mercer.
Mark Elliott Reisner.
For the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Benjamin Adam Cohen.
Daniel F. Deutsch.
J. Benjamin DeYoung.
Austin Jed Estep.
Gregory Chandler Furman.
Jonathan Daniel Katzman.
Tae Soo Kim.
David Coe.
Jacob E. Lozano Ramirez.
Sharon Hang Lee.
Arjun Dev Sani.
Scott Thomas Masseri.
Nathan Paul Schloss.
Joss T. Schaefer.
Matthew Corey Shekels.
Stephen Xiao.
Lucas Takatori.
Justin Michael Snyder.
David Watson.
Owen Keith Whitmore.
For the Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Nisha Apishisopa.
Aruj Amina Aslam.
Justin Mingyang B.
Edward Allen Briner.
Richard James Eben.
Jane Maurice Foster.
Eric Craig Hadel.
Dan A. Hilton.
Mael Ilian.
Mohan Leong.
Peter Charles Lucia.
Christy Papadopoulos.
Stavros Papadopoulos.
Drew Paul Peterson.
Corey Russell.
Mitchell Eric Sachs.
For the Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering, Logan Green Bruner.
Jared Anthony Beekman.
Daniel Scott Kahn.
Erica Reel Furmeister.
Haley Jean Normile.
Eunice Karjalainen.
Emily Grace Prosser.
Brooke Potash.
Shayna Lynn Rose.
Rebecca Dalton Spaluzzi.
Julian Nader Saliani. Tiffany Way. Aphrodite Ziti. For the Bachelor of Science in Material Science and Engineering, Mani Meshkin Archang.
Eric Michael Bressler.
Johan Youngguan Chu.
John Federico de Capua.
Stephen Philippone.
Brooke Yang.
Jasper Lin.
Paul Macidas.
Kyle Aaron McGill.
Matthew Salato.
Puttarat Sunny Santaranan. For the Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Edward Wilson August.
Edwin Javier Azuaga Alessia.
Christopher Michael Caniglio.
Alexander Hunter Cafe.
Terrence Coulter Casey.
Zachary Michael Carter.
Benjamin Sello.
Joshua Maurice Charest.
Harmeet Dingra.
Jason Yi Chu.
Ryan Edwin Downing.
Nathaniel Gregor Durradi.
Frank Robert Ferris.
Elise Marie Edwards.
Abigail Kristen Flock.
Brandon Casey Fishman.
Adaraj Goyal.
Andrew Henry Frazier.
Sheehan Sue.
Jennifer Lee Herchek.
Vinay Jote.
Matthew Wiegard Jorgensen.
William B. Kim.
David Charles Kilgariff.
Brandon Lee.
Michael Thomas Letty.
Michael Lysak.
Stephen Lynn.
Joshua Philip Meyerson.
Cassandra Amy Laura McClure.
Max Okino.
Carrie Ann Moriarty.
Aaron Joshua Rips.
Timothy Edmund Willett.
William Harrison Rothkopf.
Kevin Joseph Quinn.
Jessica Marie Rule.
Max Joseph Robinson.
Robert Charles Schneider III.
Eric Carlin Russo.
Aman Mahir Shah.
Janus Jan Savimli.
Shelby Eileen Strauss.
Dong Sok Daniel Shin.
James Teasley.
Patrick Quinn Tam.
Madeline Elise Verche.
Raymond Ramil Tercedo Tuazen.
Vincent Wang.
Jonathan Wong.
Jeffrey Yu.
Daniel Philip Willen.
For the Bachelor of Arts, Christina Francis Convey.
Thomas Peter Morris.
Michelle Ann Ho. For the Bachelor of Arts in Applied Mathematics and Statistics, Brian Thomas Rehor.
Rachel Susan Liu.
For the Bachelor of Arts in Biomedical Engineering, Daniel Robert Wadika.
Samuel Hun.
For the Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science, Praneeth Sutta.
And finally,
just one sec.
oh, sorry.
Each of you is a vibrant and vital part of our university community. Today, as we celebrate your achievements, we also remember those who are not with us. Your classmate, Christine Kim, a proud member of the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Science, exemplified the spirit of this university, as do you. May your common commitment to intellectual inquiry and devotion to serving others help guide us as we all work to create a safer, finer, and more humane world. Provost.
And now, finally, Dean Newman will present the bachelor candidates from the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences.
Mr. President, before I present the worthy candidates for this degree, I'd like to recognize some of the people on the stage who helped make their careers here possible, starting with the faculty and department chairs of the Krieger School of Arts and Sciences. Please rise, if you would, my colleagues. I'd like to add to them our colleagues in administration in the Homewood Student Affairs, in the Offices of Admissions and Financial Aid, and my colleagues in the Office of Development, all of whom helped to make this day possible for these graduates. Would you please stand? As President Daniels knows all too well, it takes a pretty big village to produce a tremendous graduating class like this one. This class is particularly important to me because I came in their freshman year as a freshman dean, and I'm leaving it as a senior along with them. Hence, I consider them once and for all my class. my people, and I'm immensely proud of them. I also know them pretty well because hundreds of them have come to dinner at my house. Could I see the hands of those of you who have had dinner at my house? Now could I see the hands of those of you who had leftovers from the people who had dinner at my house, which is an even bigger crowd. It's been an honor to serve you, and hence, by virtue of my role as dean, I'm happy to present the persons who are standing before you, certified by the faculty of the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences for their degrees of Bachelor of Science in an art or science discipline and Bachelor of Arts.
Thank you, Dean. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Johns Hopkins University, and for the last time today, I confer upon each and every one of you and candidates unable to be present the degree Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the Zanville Krieger School of Arts and Sciences, for which you have been certified by the faculty together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Warmest congratulations.
And now we're going to ask the recipients of the degree just conferred to please come forward when your name is called after we've recognized the graduates who are seated on stage. The names will be called in alphabetical order by degree.
I will now read the names of the onstage candidates and ask that they come forward when called. For the degree Bachelor of Arts, Colleen Allen. Sean Glass. Drew Lash. Edward Lefkoff. Jacob Peters. Alex Pressman. Aaron Tessler. Thomas Ray. For the Bachelor of Science in Molecular and Cellular Biology, Amanda Nicole Badillo.
Dylan J. Ovenshine.
Tiffany Liwang B.
Guang Yu Bai.
Nathaniel David Bradley.
Anish Bhutnagar.
Brian R. Brensinger.
Celeste Garland Francis Black.
Susie He Cho.
Richard Bram.
Sydney Louise Coates.
Melanie Marie Callahan.
Francesca Lucy Di Domenica.
Lauren Kristen Chavis.
Usad Farouk Durrani.
Lawrence Lee Chow.
Olivia Minako Farrelly.
Randy Michael Cohen.
Vidya Jayanth Gandalia.
Zainab Murtaza Doctor.
Lydia Deanne Helwig.
Zachary William Dwyer.
Jonathan David Hickman.
Anthony Martin Gasita.
Stephanie H. Herr.
Visagan Gopalakrishnan.
Marissa Caroline Jarasinski.
Erin Su.
Danya Jiang.
Tasmin Hussein.
Joshua Daniel Kastner.
Diana Lee Jang.
Alexandra Dimitrola.
Marjan Carey.
Calixica Hope Grenell Lucas, Jr.
Lauren Jamie Liu.
Lemonia Dimitrios Mavrophilippos.
Thomas James Manzone.
Ashley Millette.
Colleen Elizabeth McDermott.
Tiona Montano.
Michael D. Musterick.
Arash Nazar Tavakolayan.
V. N. Gwen.
Clinton O. Ogega.
Michelle Plosh.
Matthew R. Peck.
Sydney Raquel Resnick.
Anjali Ramaswamy.
Kevin Sung Hoon Sun.
Harpithra Bharoth Shah.
Huchong Tiratananan.
Richard Alexander Skelton.
Christine Janet Woodburn.
Elliot Turku.
Leanne Yu.
Eric Lee Wan.
Richard Xu.
William Wu. Cindy Yue Zhang. Amitash Singh. Justin Zhao. Now for the Bachelor of Science in Physics. Daniel Masad Benarochi.
Victor Paul Allard.
Douglas James Daly, Jr.
Fletcher Ian Boone.
Helen Marie Fonda.
Daniel Max Firester.
Lawrence William Diorgiano.
Marie Christina Hepfer.
Matthew Joseph Hill.
Anna Isabel Quintanal.
Michael Kalmanovich.
Jordan Huffman.
Justin Holim Lee.
John Paul Cotella.
Oliver Michael Sokol McNeely.
Kellen Elizabeth McGee.
Christopher John Munye.
Linnea Pierce Metcalf.
Heshi Roskis.
Jessica Lynn Noviello.
Elizabeth Ann Scarrett.
Evan Johnson Rule.
Evan J. Stafford.
Joseph Thomas Sloan. Hang Yu.
For the Bachelors of Arts, Jared Marcus Abbott.
Nina Marine Abraham.
Gabriella Abril.
Rosa Eliza Atchison.
Joseph Andrew Aquaviva.
Ashley Victoria Adams.
Dylan Brian Adams.
Maria Modupi Adebayo.
Temidayo Ibirunke Adideji Fajobi.
Ibrahim Abdullah Al-Jubar.
Nicole Elizabeth Albstein.
Wolfgang Alexander Alders.
Devin Leah Alessio.
Hassan Ali.
Fatima Ahmed Alkanezi.
Christopher Ryan Alvarez.
Joella Lee Allen.
Suze Zeki Amidi.
George Vincent Alvarez.
Thomasina Pokaya Anani.
Nishant Raj Umbusht.
Thomas John Andrisi.
Billy Joe Hammonds.
Carrie Elizabeth Andrews.
Eric Corfitz Anderson.
Saad Anjum.
Colette Dolores Andre.
Ran Au.
David Alejandro Angarita.
John Daniel Arena.
Merrill Paul Anovic.
Brittany Kathleen Ash.
Catherine Marie Apple.
Virtue Atai.
Megan Elizabeth Armstrong.
Zachary William Augustine.
Andreas Aslickson Aratazbal.
Marianne Claire Avari.
Mary Catherine Atkins.
Larkin Woodward Bailey.
Nadia Aurora.
Nicholas Sayers Baker.
Anne Brackenridge Ballantyne Badman.
Allison Rebecca Ballinger.
Kelly Michelle Baker.
Danielle Lee Bargala.
Carter Campbell Banker.
Janet Marin Barnes.
Sarah Elizabeth Barnard.
Kevin Andrew Berry.
Amanda Claire Bass.
Alec Nicholas Bates.
Samuel Joseph Churchill.
Alessandra Victoria Bouts.
Tyler Patrick Barnum.
Yeah, Tyler!
Gabrielle Blamo Bedell.
Nicole Baumgartner.
Jehan Thais Evelyn Bellange.
Brianne Elizabeth Bears.
Allison Duffy Bellows.
Taylor Catherine Beach.
Mnangbi Keita Berete.
John Foster Bellyanger.
Dana Caldwell Berlin.
Brandon Daniel Ben.
Amanda Gale Best.
Desiderio Gabrielle Berdini.
Axel Marie Ernest Biamonte.
Marissa Karen Berger.
Taline Agavni Bilazurion.
Mary Teresa Glennon Berman.
Lou Blandpain.
Akshay V. Bhatnagar.
Nicole Bon Savage.
Ryan James Bickley.
Daniel Baroda.
Max James Biondi.
Mattia Nadine Boulard.
Jordan Bleibtroy.
Mark Andrew Bazo Jr.
Vincenzo A. Bonadio.
Julia Robinson Bradshaw.
Allison Lynn Borko.
Sasha Carmela Britsky.
Stephen Nathaniel Barunda.
Erlandra Rikita Brooks.
Natalie Rittenhouse Boyce.
Jacob Aaron Budins.
John Joseph Braddock.
Alexandria Barrett.
Ellen Margaret Adele Brait.
Stephanie Ariel Buzzgang.
Carolyn Mary Bridey.
Molly Hannah Feder Cafaro.
Julia Geralomatis Brown.
Cameron Donald Caldwell.
Joseph Mario Garcia Bucili.
Elizabeth Anna Campbell.
Miliana Budimirovich.
Lauren Michelle Capers.
Lauren Victoria Burke.
Richard John Carbone.
Ruth Allen Burrows.
Adrian Stephen Carney.
Sean Lee Buxton.
Brandon Maurice Carter.
Deidre Grace Caffrey.
Kelly Elizabeth Cardy.
Robert Riley Callan.
Rachel Mary Caudell.
Nicole Ann Cantor.
Samantha Mary Cermak.
Andrew Giacomo Cappuccino.
Rohini Chakravarti.
Elizabeth Joanne Karras.
Natalie Lok Yan Chen.
Laura Marie Carroll.
Tony Laurel Shanru.
Lydia Trojan Carthy.
Nikhil Venkat Shivali.
Jenna Lee Kavrik.
Jason Evan Chen.
Titaporn Chaisin Runrang.
Nisa Grace Chang.
Jean-Pierre Junwei Chalapin.
Hannah Cho.
Winston Seyoung Chang.
Min Young Cho.
Catherine Charov.
Lydiana Teresa Economou.
Henry K. Chen.
Abigail Healy Clark.
Elliot Kyle Cherish.
Tien Tien Chen.
Chi Men Chim.
Lindsay Marie Clark.
Michelle Chu.
Leela Sarah Collins.
Haiyang Jung Stephanie Cho.
Rachel Mayra Cohen.
Jenny Yeon Cho.
Taylor Marie Colvin.
Aiden O.H.W. Christofferson.
Fatmata Bakari Kunti.
Holly Johanna Clark.
Samuel David Cook.
Ethan Brown Clarkson.
Caitlin Ann Corbin.
Caitlin Elizabeth Cohen.
Adrian Antonio Cotarello.
Zoe Caroline Heller Cohen.
Deanna Marie Katsales.
Alexandra Adair Colt.
Lucy Tilden Coyle.
Emily Ashbury Combs.
Benjamin Saffron Cranston.
Kristen Cook.
Arlen Dana Christie.
Daniel James Corbett.
Taylor Diamore.
Stuart James Corliss.
Justin Robert Dana.
Cornelia Morio Cote.
Alexander David Dash.
Juliana Rosa Cato.
Benjamin John Davidson.
Jasmine Renee Crank.
Michaela Rose Delicia.
Megan Elizabeth Krantz.
Michael Joseph Delphine.
Ladora Ayoka Comrell.
Michael William Denlinger.
Duncan Colum Crystal.
Patrick Jonathan Dupre Gallagher.
Maxwell Andrew Courier.
Danielle Antoinette DePersia.
Andrew Jared Rosen Daniels.
Jeremy William DeLinco.
Thomas Patrick DeLeon.
Mary Rydell Donahue.
Nikit DeDio.
David Ryan Dorsch.
Caroline Rose DeLuca.
Christopher James Douglas.
Kara Ann Deppie.
Virgil Lawrence Doyle.
Jennifer Lee Diamond.
Malachi James Duffy.
Joseph Francis DiTrolio.
Angela Marie Donay.
Alyssa Ann Dittmar.
Christian Echeverria.
Jennifer Catherine Donnelly.
Gregory Benton Edmonds.
Francis Taylor Dougherty.
Colby Heron Eisen.
Malcolm Elijah Douglas.
Austin Sun Elig.
Brian Anthony Dufo.
Stafford Enck.
Julia Marie DeFasi.
Leo Trevor Ernst.
Lauren S. Eby.
Michael Patrick Faby.
Benjamin David Eckroff.
Jennifer Pia Ferenc.
Gorgiana Idianseri.
Rodolfo Manuel Fernandez Criado.
Demetrius Marcel Edwards.
Lauren Elizabeth Fields.
Francesco Emiliani.
Lucinda Beatrice Fink.
Kimberly C-Shun Eng.
Mackenzie Erica M. Fisher.
Bonnie Lee Eder.
Sarah Deanna Flood.
Nora Fahim.
Bethany Lynn Flaherty.
James Earl Fonto.
Chantel Ida Fletcher.
Zachary Michael Ferguson.
Kara Ann Foley.
Lauren Elizabeth Fury.
Alexander David Forrence.
Allison Louise Fink.
Chance Douglas Fowler.
Victor Allen Fink.
Gina Rachel Frumkin.
Yael Nicole Fishpine.
Kylie Alexandra Fuller.
Kyle H. Fisk.
Matthew A. Fusaro.
Alyssa Ray Fleming.
Joanne Elizabeth Gamble.
Julia Ann Flood.
Shuna Gao.
Laura Evelyn Flynn.
Young Pen Gao.
Susan Carol Flossum.
Fabrice Antoine Garnier.
Sarah Ada Fortin.
Alex Daniel Garson.
Nicholas Michael Frame.
Kirsten Victoria Gausch.
Madeline Louise Fryer.
Chelsea Aika Villanueva Gaviola.
Sarah Frances Furlong.
Nicholas Russin Gersh.
Zachary Robert Gaines.
Rahel Niga Gibreas.
Chuman Gao.
Nicholas Russian Gersh.
Iwei Gao.
Danielle Franklin Gill.
Elizabeth Garcia.
Anna Lynn Gilmore.
Jonah David Gary.
Kelly Sylvia Glazer.
Carolina Garez.
Swati Goel.
Sophia Jeanette Gatier.
Jake Matthew Goldstein.
Lisette Gutan.
Jake Trent Goldman.
Jean Patrick Nico Mendez Geronimo.
Elizabeth Ann Michelle Gomez.
Ryan Hale Gigi.
Jocelyn Renee Gonzalez.
Jake Lawrence Gillette.
Dylan Hunter Gorman.
Nicholas Hayden Ginsburg.
Shelby Marie Graham.
Samuel Meade Glassman.
Allison Elizabeth Greco.
Sophia Gazacheva.
Alexandra Rachel Greenberg.
Tyler Joel Goldstein.
Robert Douglas Guida.
Stephanie Gomez.
Morgan Dawn Halstead.
Monica Gonsalves.
William Joseph Hamilton.
Dana Gordon.
Alexander Sutton Ham.
Leanne Kara Gossels.
Patrick Davis Hampton.
Leah Carla Goranovskaya.
Emily Joy Hanchek.
Vania Amaris Green.
Laura Jane Hansen.
Henry David Greener Almeida.
Bridget Baird Harkness.
Nikita Gupta.
Nicholas Morgans Harnick.
Clinton James Hall.
Angelique Shantae Harris.
Victoria Joan Halterman.
Benjamin Thomas Hartman.
Winston Chase Hamilton.
Catherine Hashimi.
Christopher Kennedy Hampton Jr.
Nicolette Antonia Hatsidimi Trio.
Ian Hisu Han.
Jean Soo Hee.
Christine Chiwon Han.
Jacqueline Liza Heath.
Maka Hakani.
Sarah Elizabeth Henderson.
Elizabeth Renee Harnett.
Kaylee Hens.
Abigail Ellen Hari.
Carolina Teresa Hernandez.
Martha Conley Harrison.
Githmina Rachana Hawagi.
Brendan Patrick Hartman.
Kimberly Dara Hilson.
Derek Allen Hartfield.
Caitlin Mary Hoff.
Daniel William Hahn. Sorry about that.
Maxwell Gargelo Hall.
Mike Zhangyu He.
Ji Un Hong.
Wesley Allen Heater.
Sarah Lynn Horton.
Megan Lynn Hennessy.
Isabel Cristina Huerta.
Carice Shelley Henry.
Stephen Francis Highland Jr.
Roger Henry.
Viola Olbadunmi Ijadare.
Caitlin Marley Heps Keeney.
Ariana Lily Mary Ionescu.
Jonathan Coleman Heddyman.
Hillary Elizabeth Jackson.
Andrew H. Ho.
Alicia Jamil.
Haley Marie Hogan.
Samuel Xiao Guangji.
Yasmin Andrea Holloway.
Elizabeth Keegan Johnson.
Keely Brianna Horst.
Melissa Karen Giordano.
Peggy Hong.
Kyo Jung.
Zhangju Christine Huff.
Zoe Elizabeth Kaiser.
Christopher David Hines.
J. Isatu K. Kane.
Kevin James Interlicio.
Siok Q. Kang.
Charlotte Dewar James.
Elizabeth Ann Kaplan.
Sierra Amber Dong.
Edward William Kardish.
Christina Victoria Jimenez.
Alexandra Lizette Kirsten.
Haram Jew.
Margaret Marie Keener.
Kevin Joseph Joyce.
Matthew Christopher Kelly.
Candace Hee-Jung Jung.
Adil Aga Khan.
Alyssa Suzanne Caden.
Daniel Kim.
Adi Kalu.
Amy Kim.
Jenica Mora Kajan.
Jihoon Kim.
Lucas Allen Cantor.
Minerva Yuri Kim.
Benjamin Franklin Carbaz.
Pearl Jean Kim.
Jessica Aaron Katz.
William Baldwin Kimball.
Alexander Daniel Kellen.
Alexandra James Kirk.
William Hugh Kelly.
Tyler Craig Nab.
Da-Ye Kim.
Storm Ann Thais Code.
David S. Kim.
Jonathan Matthew Cannell.
Hyunsup Kim.
Elizabeth Suzanne Kraus.
Jumong Kim.
Brian Wonhee Kwak.
Min-Soo Kim.
Daniel Everett Lassman.
Tiffany L. Jinju Kim.
Patrick K. Lau.
Stephanie A. King.
Leong Hong Lee.
Taylor Akio Kichiyama.
Alexandria Yuna Lee.
Ryan Keenan.
Jonathan Lee.
Mangyang Song Koo.
Sun Yoon Lee.
Brian William Kors.
Anna Hofford Lemp.
Alana Rachel Kornspun.
Erica Lynn Levenbaum.
Kevin C. Q.
J. Harlan Levin Gleba.
Dorothy Kim.
Karen Elizabeth Lewis.
Michelle Alexandra Lampert.
Kevin Yinan Lee.
Helen Stewart Latimer.
Jean Seok Lim.
Megan Noel Lauer.
Courtney Francis Little.
Andrew Joseph Lacher.
Jillian McCulley Lewatz.
Kelly Lynn Letty.
Zoe Lauren Lonnecker Wright. Way to go.
Daniel Xiang Fei Lee.
How are you doing? Anthony Paul Lordy Jr.
Chung Yoon Lee.
Jennifer Yiling Lu.
Peter Inyup Lee.
John Dylan Luck. Way to go.
Ciola Lee.
Sarah Firth London.
Sherry Brianna Leonard.
Ala H. Majid.
Kira Alexandra Levy.
Gaida Hassan Majub.
Lauren Kelly Lewis.
Stephanie May Miranda Blank.
Lydia Jumi Liang.
Jack Matthew Margulies.
Hannah Ruth Linsell.
Emily Dennison Markert.
Max Newell Lloyd. Hey, Max.
John Patrick Marquess.
Daniel Francisco Lopez. Yeah, Danny.
Michael Andrew Martin.
Stephanie Michelle Lopez.
Laura Ariel Mashler.
Rachel Louie.
Michael Stephen Matisik.
Morgan Lee Lucas.
Hillary Amanda Matfis.
Christina Luke.
John Patrick Maxwell.
Marcella Henrietta Lunn.
Matthew Devalier McCauley.
Ruben James Madrid.
Emma Jane McFarland.
James Joseph McGuire.
Elizabeth Catherine McIntosh.
James Robert Hillerbaum.
Jenna Caitlin McLaughlin.
Jessica Elizabeth Marcoles.
Haley Catherine McShane.
Nathaniel D. Mark.
Alexa Shea Mechanic.
Neil Howard Marshall.
Hui Miao.
Sarah Martinez.
Eric Jonathan Miller.
Elizabeth Danielle Mash.
Cindy Sue Min.
Robert J. Matey.
Kyle Thomas Mobbs.
Elizabeth Sarah Maurer.
Gurinder Krishna Ashok Molinani.
Jennifer Ann Malak.
Christopher Montoya.
Patrick Scott McCullough.
Phoebe Goodrich Morgan.
Quinn William McWorry.
Dylan Keith Moses.
Richard Charles McKinnon Jr.
Brandon Simon Moy.
Melinda Jeanette McPherson.
Gabriela Mercedes Mejika Martorell.
Michael Dean Mager.
Richard Joseph Mulroy.
Udarsh Menon.
Lillian Sullivan Murphy.
Amanda Rachel Miller.
Shayna Kathleen Murray.
Andrew Joseph Minicucci.
Michael Benjamin Nakan.
Aisha Minatu Mohammed.
Alexander Nikolic.
Frank Anthony Molina.
Limor Neer.
Jonathan Rocco Montero.
Marlon Matthew Nunez.
Kyla Marion Moore.
Meg Aaron O'Connor.
Gabriella Marie Marijo.
Jessica Catherine O'Neill.
Reed Michael Mascara.
David Eric O'Neill.
Amanda Rai Muller.
Sharon Riwi Ong.
Matthew James Mulholland.
Amanda Onyenyechi Onyenwenye. Way to go, Amanda.
Stephanie Alice Murda.
Eugene Orm.
Emily Rose Nadelman.
Carolyn Grace Osborne.
Sarah Elena Neal.
Jenna Yi Pan.
Tara Patricia Nicola.
Zhu He Grace Park.
Emily Catherine Nink.
Gilbert Joseph Pasquale.
Dominic Anthony Nistal.
Taila Catherine Petrinos.
Vinaya N. Nocolo.
Ava Margot Pecco.
Madeline Elizabeth Hoagan.
Alicia Kathleen Perkinson. I didn't get to choose.
Endobisi Obiara OKK.
Matthew Kyle Pfeffer. Anastasia. I'm sorry.
Alvin Chedoja Onyawayan.
Anastasia Catherine Piron.
Kate Elizabeth Herrero.
Francesca Elisa Pinelli.
Guillermo Alexander Ortiz.
Paraskivi Vasily Plestis.
Zeynep Ozenai.
Alexandra Lee Police.
Benjamin R. Panico.
Linda Ruth Poon.
Stephen Park.
Garrick John Prokis.
Varun Yogeshaba Patel.
Yujet Chen.
Laura Catherine Perkinson.
Daniel Michelle Quinn. Dana, sorry.
Aubrey Sage Pevsner.
Adam Ahmed Qureshi. That's cool. Got it, thanks.
Still no takers. Okay, only one family this year. Let's keep going.
Jameson Reno Pickle.
Jacqueline Renee Randall.
Kenneth Lawrence Pearson III.
Carissa Ratanyunyam Rat.
Angeline Nicole Panilla.
Daniel Angelo Ritugi.
Trevor Matthew Plumer.
What's going on? Christopher Michael Riley.
Alexander Polyak.
Courtney Ashley Reynolds.
Kayla Irene Poulos.
Catherine Alexandra Ronaldo.
Nicole Marie Price.
Samantha Eve Ritoo.
Albert Pugh.
Adam Elliott Roberts.
Joseph John Puma.
Catherine Taylor Robinson.
Queenie Q.
Erica Rodriguez.
Shelby Patricia Quinn.
Ariel Faye Rosen.
William Garrett Ransom.
Shari Lisa Rosen.
Mazin Syed Reyes.
Elias Bayan Rosenblatt.
Michelle Alexandra Ramos.
Molly Emma Rubart.
Rachel Worthington Reed.
Elizabeth Kathleen Ruiz.
Heather Adele Reisner.
Jennifer Ann Rutz.
Khalid Anthony Rich.
Noah Galen Sugieski.
Stephanie Ann Richer.
Sarah Hannah Saltz.
Ariel Esther Robbins Rothman.
Nicholas Eduardo Sanchez.
Jacob Benjamin Rode.
Rachel Elaine Santo.
Aileen Rosello.
Monique Leila Mireille Sarkis.
Claire Bothwell Rosen.
Kurt Andrew Scanomeo.
Bennett Isaac Rosenbach.
Amy Elizabeth Scatino.
Charmaine Gabrielle Ross.
Frank Aaron Schiff.
Catherine Rachel Round.
Eric Andrew Smallbach.
Callan Anthony Ralzaneski.
Rose Margaret Schneider.
Benjamin Scott Rubenstein.
Victoria Rose Schroeder.
Erica Bernice Ruiz.
Eva Marie Schultes.
Chloe Ruth Ryan.
Deborah Shoshana Schweitzer.
James John Sabra.
Ian McDougall Scott.
Jessica Salalama.
Charles Hayden Seidel.
Luma Samir Samawi.
Camilla Maria Seiler.
Rex Lee Sanders.
Irvin Junju Siao.
Garo Peter Sarayan.
Patrick John Shakiba.
Alexandra Helen Skayanamo.
Jay Shi.
Ari Ben Schaefer.
Harry Christopher Schock.
Olivia Ray Sheever.
Layla Siddiqui.
Emily Ann Schiller.
Maya Rautem Silver.
Eric Daniel Schneider.
Kui Man Sim.
Rebecca Lauren Schoenfeld.
Allison Lee Sims.
Rose Sabrina Schrott.
Bonnie Ann Scalar.
Alexander J. Schuper.
Jack Leader Sloan.
Victoria Ryan Scordato.
Eva Maria Nohero Smith.
Catherine Burnell Seeger.
Rachel Sarinka Smith.
Tina Atinku Sado.
Miriam Hope Snyder.
Alana Nicole Selly.
Ji Zheng Jesse Son.
Megu Sharma.
Mi Ji Son.
Wesley Michael Shope.
Seth M. Static.
Dylan Lauren Shoemaker.
Annie Abigail Stallman.
David Alexander Silverstein.
Zoe Elizabeth Mary Stanley Lockman.
Eleanor Walwork Silverman.
Matthew John Stewart.
Catherine May Simeon.
Rebecca Ellen Stringham.
Christopher Andrew Scoff.
Rebecca Austrie Sterner.
Jonathan Andrew Smitten.
Anthony Lee Summers.
Layla Christine Smith.
Abigail Dorothy Sussman.
Alexandra Ray Snock.
Erica Lynn Tan.
Christina Marie Sokas.
Alexandra Lee Tanzola.
Victoria Claire Somerville.
Maritza Nicole Taylor.
Stephanie Marie Specca.
Kylie C. Turnus.
Eric Scott Stadius.
Teresa Joan Thomas.
Matthew Stephen Stankowitz.
Sarah Elaine Thompson.
Henry Robert Stauber.
Maxwell Milburn Hiro Toe.
Talia Stewart.
Andrew Schuyler Towson.
Jessica Lynn Stroll.
Mary Elizabeth Trinan.
Ava Michelle Sumaho.
Allison Nicole Trotman.
Eric Lewis Sun.
Catherine Toison.
Cyrus Grant Takahashi.
Justine Levine Turner.
Faith Louise Celis Tanduck.
Nicholas Wayne Tyson.
Michael Z. Tao.
Shakuti H. Utomi.
Sarah Jane Caroline Taylor.
Amanda Michelle Vakis.
Lily Ann Thompson.
Katerina Vesasilovich.
Benjamin James Tiller.
Alexander Scott Vickery.
Brooke Goodall Townsend.
Alessandra Noel Villarreal.
Patrick Harry Truskovitz.
Ziga Vodusek.
Laura Victoria Trumba.
Kathan Janek Vyas.
Sonia Zaruaka.
Gary Prasad Weigel.
Samantha Ray Tipker.
David Enzu Wang.
Richard Frederick Turner.
Kevin Wong.
Ellen Taylor Erheim.
Rebecca Elizabeth Ward.
Keva Bagul.
Brandon Ross Weber.
Andrea Tony Funfake.
Ari Chai Weiss.
Haley Elizabeth Belt.
Chelsea Nicole White.
Jolisa Maria Perez.
Jordan Edward Williams.
Aaron Michelle Vigil.
Nathan Charles Winnick.
Pamela Varanis.
Rachel Beth Whitkin.
Heather Danielle Walker.
Man Chi Wong.
Abi Wong.
Karen Elizabeth Woods.
Jasmine Wong.
James Shishang Zhu.
Andrew Wong.
Mao Michael Yakakawa.
Dante Joseph Weaver Johnson.
Sijo Yang.
Alec McCollum Webster.
Su Young Yu.
Anna Elizabeth Wary.
Caroline Ray Rouse.
Schaefer Douglas Whitaker.
Astrid Colette Zessler.
Bailey Philip Christopher Winder. Christopher Peter Salvelli Weiner. Rachel Ann Whitner. David Michael Woodford. Diana Dion Zhu. Amanda Nicole Yacarino. Peter Ming Yang. Susan Rachel Yaster. Lauren Michelle Young. William Skipper Yu. Kevin Gary Seffel. Fen Zhang.
And finally, Sam Eli Zorwitz.
Sam, look out. They're still here. Thank you. Sam thanks you. His parents thank you. Anyone else?
That's perfect.
That's good?
That's good.
Okay. Has this moment kind of dealt with some of the pain you described to me in such graphic detail earlier?
This is the most fitting ending.
I agree. Thank you, Sam. Congratulations. And congratulations to the class of 2014. With that, we're almost at the end of these great commencement exercises. Again, thank you all for staying with us to the end. We have applauded our graduates and their families, our trustees, alumni, and honorary degree recipients, and just want to make sure that we acknowledge the peerless contributions of one more group without whom we would not be here today, our faculty. Under the guidance of these teachers and mentors, our students have thrived, turning out their best work, often well more than they realized they could ever accomplish. And again, I would ask, could the members of our faculty who are here with us please stand so we can give them a really rousing thank you for all that they've done to bring us to this day. You are the heart of our university, and we thank you and salute you. I also want to thank our deans, administrators, and staff, without whom these proud graduates would not have arrived at this moment. And of course, I want to also recognize our volunteers and those who work in security, facilities, and parking for making this ceremony possible. I want to thank our special meteorologist who told us, yes, that if we moved through this by 12:10, this was going to be okay. And so we even have some more time after that to celebrate at the lunch today. I want to thank our speaker, Susan Wojcicki, for sharing her insights with us on this magnificent day. To our graduates, and for my last time, from across our divisions of our one Johns Hopkins University, while this moment marks the end of your official tenure as Johns Hopkins students, it also signals the start of a new kind of learning, discovery, and engagement with our communities from Baltimore to Beijing and beyond. I just can't wait to see what you're going to do to make us all so very, very proud. Once again, congratulations, good luck, and Godspeed. And now I turn it back to Chief Marshal Lieberman to conclude these proceedings. Provost, congratulations.
On behalf of the entire Johns Hopkins community, it's my honor and great privilege to extend congratulations as well to all of our graduates and their families. I have several announcements before we begin the recession. The graduate marshals will lead the bachelor graduates to Gilman Hall on Kaiser Quadrangle to pick up their diplomas. The doctoral and master's graduates will be led back to the Athletic Center. Graduates, this is your last instruction as students at Johns Hopkins. After you pick up your diplomas, President Daniels invites you to a reception on Kaiser Quad along with your friends, families, and guests. To maintain safety for all our participants, the audience is requested to remain standing at their seats until the recession of principals, officials, members of the faculty, and the graduates is completed. The graduates are requested to remain standing at their seats until the recession of the principals, officials, and members of the faculty. Please follow the directions of your marshal. And now please stand and join us in singing the Johns Hopkins Ode.
choicest treasure, and freedom reach her fullest measure. Oh, let her watch would ever be the truth alone will set you free, will set you free.
Thank you for joining us today. A final congratulations to all graduates and their families. The ceremony is now adjourned.
Thank you.